bull party, but are we going to be invited? Hello Adrian, and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. It is 7:30 p.m. UTC +8, and hope you are all doing well. It has been a pretty volatile yesterday. It has been very volatile yesterday with our good old Bitcoin, and let's see what Bitcoin has in plan and in motto for later on today. Let's wait a little bit for our hardcore crew is coming back up online. And let's see who is here. Nikolai, of course. Nikolai is here. John is here. Monkol. Hi, Lex. Hi, Darren. Hello, everybody. Nikolai, was that the big move? Was that the big move? Of course, that's not the big move. We are still waiting for the real big move. The real big move still has to come. But we had a little a pre-party, a little teaser yesterday. A little teaser yesterday. Let's put it like that. But yeah, I don't think I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the move is going to be a lot bigger than what you think. Hi John, yes, you're not late today, that's very good. Hi Shamir. So while people are rolling in, let's take a look at some updated COVID numbers to see if things are getting better over there. So yes, hi Sendor. So yes, United States finally, well, it's not really a good thing. It crossed the 2 million cases, as you can see. Brazil is going up really fast, close to 800,000 now. Russia has crossed 500,000, and the rest of the European countries are like hanging around 250k, and so on. So let's take a look on how it looks on the charts. Let's refresh this one here. Bam. Oh. So we are at 7.2 million cases. 7.2 million cases. Yeah, the chart is still looking upwards, so yeah, definitely not good on that area. US is, well, it's, I guess it's a little bit flatter now, but yeah, it's still curling on the upside. Brazil as well, Russia definitely. UK is so European countries, like we've been saying, is a lot better. India not good, and Spain is, yeah, one of the very bullish COVID chart. Hi Alvin, hi Gita. How is everybody doing today? How was yesterday for you guys? I'm kind of curious how things were yesterday for you guys. For me, it was really good, obviously, but I don't know how you guys were doing. So tell me about it. Anyways, before we head into the analysis, let's go on to some cool stuff, news. Stuff. Apparently, well, we've seen it on YouTube quite some time now, and I just wanted to show you guys so that people are a little bit more aware of all of this scamming situations, right? Like, so basically, they have they're playing this live videos from like big events like that, the SpaceX event. What was it? The talk about from that CEO from Facebook, well, previous board member of and billionaire and owner of the Golden State Warriors. So they've been streaming like these videos, and then they put on this QR code or this BTC code, and they're saying if you send BTC to that address, you'll get a double amount of BTC back. And I'm always surprised how people can fall for these type of scams. But yeah, you can see here, people are actually sending in, and they managed to get a ton of people, because, you know, it's the stream of, like, you know, very big events like the SpaceX launch, for example. As you can see here, 80,000 people were watching, and the scam generated close to $150,000. Can you just imagine? So just opening a stream like that, and then have people come in and then send Bitcoins there and getting $150,000. I mean, I think that's just crazy, right? I mean, and yeah, and I don't know how you can, how do people fall for that? If you already know how to use Bitcoin, or you're already aware of how Bitcoin works, how can you just fall for this kind of scams and then just send in money? So yeah, once again, it's just a harsh reality, and I think once the more things become more popular, the more scamming will be happening in this area. So be mindful, be careful, guys. Don't like I said, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So yeah, be careful with your bitcoins, or be careful with your money. And overall, the scamming happens with everything, right? It's not only with Bitcoin, it happens with dollars, it happens with euros, it happens with money, fiat money, with everything. But this just sparked. It's just mind-blowing for me when I see stuff like this, and they're saying like send in Bitcoin and you'll get double back because it's a billionaire that is backing it or something like that. It's just crazy, it's just crazy. Anyways, yeah, they managed to get $150,000. That's a nice payday, right, for just putting on a stream, scamming people for a couple of hours and getting $150,000. It, as long as people keep falling for this kind of stuff, of course scammers are going to keep doing it. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, some whale just sent $130 in crypto, ether actually. So he sent in Ethereum. He sent to somewhere to another wallet 0.55 ether. It's not even 1 ether, and he put a manual fee of 10,666 ETH, meaning currently worth at $2.6 million. So somebody's transferred $133 worth of ETH, put a mining fee for $2.6 million. So I don't know if it was a mistake. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he was in a very big rush to send $133 over to some other wallet or something like that. But yeah, apparently, yeah, $2.6 million. It's a record fee that anyone has paid for transactions, I think. So he paid $2.6 million to send $133. Good job, guys. Good job. Anyways, so many crazy stuff, right? So many crazy stuff. I don't know how it happens, right? I don't even know how it happens. Like, if you are some millionaire and I don't know how you can make these kind of mistakes. It's just very mind-boggling to me. Anyways, moving on. So we can see here central banks are still adding gold to the reserves in April, as we can see, and Turkey is doing most of it, as you can see. Like we've been talking about, gold has been quite, like I said, macro very, very bullish, and central banks, as you can see, are, putting more gold. And while the Turkish lira has been going down in value, they have been adding gold. So what they're doing is basically what we've been talking about, right? Gresham's law. Their own currency is the bad money, so they want to exchange that into good money, or something that they can hold for a longer period. So they've been exchanging. They're selling everything into gold, as you can see. So a ton of money has been from central banks are moving into gold, as you can see. Serbia as well, small amounts of gold, as you can see. Central Bank of Russia announced that it planned to suspend gold purchases effective April 1, but there's already pressure on the bank to resume purchases. So, as you can see, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of countries, central banks are adding up on gold. And for me, that's something that is interesting, because central banks are not going to be doing that just for no reason, right? So I would, and like I've been telling before, this chart for gold, in a macro perspective, I'm talking about long term, because this is gold, right? it's gonna take years, right? If I would be investing, well, which I do, of course, for a longer period, for a couple of years, definitely buy some gold. I'm not saying you're gonna get mass rich from it or something like that, because I've invested in gold like a long time before already, and it took me 5 years to get like 35% or something like that, which is very high for a commodity. But you know, it's nothing in comparison with crypto, right? Crypto moves at the speed of light. Yes, Planet. The problem with crypto is if you mess up, there's no tech support, but that's kind of like a two-edged sword, right? So I kind of like it as well, that when you send it, that you know, you just have to do your thing. You just have to be aware and acknowledge and be correct with it, or else all these credit cards, when somebody trying to buy some product online and then they default it and then they ask for a return or a cashback on their credit card, it's super annoying for retail shops. I've been there before. I've had it before when I was running an online shop myself. People just use credit cards to buy stuff. You send them their products, and then they ask for a cancellation or return on their credit cards, and then the Visa company will just take that money back, which is super annoying. Definitely. Well, I mean, if they didn't get their product, obviously that's something else. But if they got their product and then they managed to get their money back as well, I mean, it's very annoying for the people who are selling it online. But yeah, everything depends on the UI, and that's right what you're saying, Monko. If things become more mainstream, if it becomes more user friendly, then things will work out. Because before, nobody understood that long address, that long code. But now, you know, once you are able to, for example, send money to like an email address or something like that, then things will become more easy. A lot of people are now using the barcode system for sending towards other people. So yeah, it will get better in the future for sure. But yeah, so as we can see, the trend towards precious metals continues, and there's nothing to say about that. Central banks are buying more gold. That's very interesting, and for me as a techno analyst, the chart looks really good. Like I've been saying it before already, this can really blow up over the next couple of years, and definitely if we are heading towards some sort of like a crisis or something like that. Not saying that we will have a crisis or anything like that, but with all that money printing, with all these debts that are being created, I think there will be some repercussions. But like I said, maybe not this year, next year maybe. So we've been talking about this as well. So the FED sees the interest rate staying near zero through 2022, and the GDP bouncing to 5% next year. So they're actually going to maintain the 0%. They're not going to be towards negative rates, although that there's quite a lot of pressure actually from the top people to be pushing it down towards negative rates. But the FED chairman Powell, he's still saying that there's still not enough proof that negative rates would be improving the economy or helping the economy. So for now, he says that for until 2022, most likely they'll keep it at zero, and by doing that, they are predicting that they will have a gain in the GDP in 2021 already by 5%. So they're thinking that they're projecting that the economy will shrink 6.5% in 2020 this year, and then gain back everything, well, almost everything in 2021, and then followed by 3.5% in 2022. So they're predicting that we will have a full recovery by 2022, basically, by keeping the interest rate at zero. So what does that mean for if they would get negative interest rates? Because you have to understand negative interest rates is something that is not very common. Japan has been using it to push the economy, and it has been, quite successful. But of course, then you get a lot of a lot of debt and problems on other areas. But in case you're not aware, a lot of people are pushing the FED towards negative rates, and mainly banks, because the thing is, banks right now are making almost no money, right? So what they want to create is a situation where you as a customer go to your bank and put money on the bank, and then you have to pay the bank for holding your money. Basically, that's what they want to do, because that would, for them, would be another source of revenues or a source of income for the bank. Because right now, banks are not making much money, right? Because the interest rates are so low right now. So if you were loaning from the bank would make quite a substantial amount of money. But because the mortgage rates and the interest rates are so low, they are not making a lot of money. So they are trying to make money through other ways. For example, giving you other services like, insurances, mainly, bonds, of course, and treasuries and stuff like that. All the other sort of services. But yeah. It's going to be quite interesting if they will succumb under the pressure. Let's put it like that. So if we get into negative rates or not, we'll find out. But for now, they are still holding their ground. And I don't think they will go into negative rates until, if something really, really bad happens with the stock market, for example. And after they have basically announced that they will be keeping the rates until 2022, we did have a movement on the stock market. And as you can see right now, after they've basically said that, this is what happened. So maybe take a look on the daily. It looks pretty on the daily. So as we can see here, after the announcement that the FED is not going to go towards negative rates and basically keep it until 2022. This is what the market reacted upon. And is this completely horrible or very bad? Well, I don't think that it's that bad just yet, as long as we are holding above the EMA 21, of course. So this small retracement, for me, it's not that bad, but we can also see it, of course, and that's why I'm saying, I'm explaining it. Of course, when the S&P or the stock market goes down, then Bitcoin goes down as well. So it's very, very critical and very important that this level is held, and we don't, get a massive breakdown once again towards, let's say, the 2,800 levels or something like that. Then for sure, Bitcoin is going to make a very a way larger retracement than we are expecting. But for now, I'm still overall bullish, and we will go into our Bitcoin analysis where we left off yesterday, of course. So yesterday, what I've said was, the area that I was looking for was around 10,150 to 10,250, if you remember that. And that was the first block where that was, as I expected it, was this block here, as you can see. And yes, that's where I closed my position. So I managed to get basically the top of my long, that was around 9.7, and I closed it around average of 10,125 or something like that. So made a nice substantial move from that push up yesterday, because we've spoken about it. The bulls had everything in their hands, and they had to make that move. They had to make a move, or else things would look very, very bad very, very quickly. Now, because after that announcement, well, not really after the announcement, it's just in the technical perspective, we can't keep going up without a retracement, right? So same for NASDAQ, as we can see here, we are having a retracement, and what we want is not to be breaking the EMA 21 or the yellow line here on the NASDAQ. We are still very, very far away, as you can see, for NASDAQ. So not really too concerned just yet, but it would be pretty bad if we would be going down and breaking down towards that area. Then Bitcoin is definitely going to go down towards that area. But for now, I still think that we are going to make a bounce from around this area, to be honest. We can clearly see that RSI is dropping to very, very low levels already. And if we actually make a lower low, so if the RSI keeps dropping low, we will form hidden bullish divergence, right, where the price is making a lower high. Let me show you where the price is going to make a lower high. So if the price is making a lower high like this, and our RSI is going to make a lower low, something like this, we will form hidden bullish divergence. So I'm still not that concerned about Nasdaq or the stock market. I think this is just a small pullback and a small profits from people who have been longing since the beginning of this trend, and they're just taking some profits off. I think this is going to be just a small pullback, and we will most likely go up higher. So that's the reason why I'm not that 100% concerned just yet about our Bitcoin. But of course, if this pullback keeps on going, and if this pullback goes all the way down, then Bitcoin is going to be in trouble as well, right? But okay, so where are we at right now? Well, we're still here at this level here. We pulled back beautifully at our support zone. This trend line has been holding up very, very nicely, and as we can see here, we held up around the 9,750 area. So for me, still nothing that badly or anything like that. I'm back into a long position once again after I closed it from yesterday, because after it broke up back once again here from the EMA 55, which is exactly at the same, I think almost the same price as I was in yesterday, 9,690. I just clicked long. I mean, that was basically what I just did, because I am still overall pretty bullish, and I think that we will have a considerable move once again very, very soon. Most likely, somewhere today, tomorrow, once again, something like that. I think we will be swiping. This time we will break that 10,000, because that was the first resistance that we've touched here, 10,150 to 10,250. I think this time, the next time that we will swipe upwards, I think we will be going towards the 10.4k or this green box here on the top side. I think we will be moving towards this area, 10.4 or 10.5k, to be honest, the next time, if we are going to be swiping up. So let's take a look on the RSI right now. So this was basically what was happening yesterday. We had like this beautiful bullish type of pennant, and as you can see, we broke up from that all the way up there. If we have made a nice small we can see that was around our expected move as well. So it was beautiful. The 10.2k range area, that was picture perfect. But right now, as we can see, we broke down and we are back below that triangle. But like I said, I'm still not that worried. We'll be making bullish divergence once again if we would be making a lower RSI, very similar to like the stock market, and I can show it to you here. So if, for example, let's say from this point to this point, where we're at right now, that's a little bit too far. Let's go from this point here. For example, if we from this point to this point, we will be making a higher low. And if we are looking at the RSI, that would be from this point to this point. So right now, of course, nothing is happening just yet. But if the RSI drops a little bit lower, for example, here, we will be forming bullish divergence anyway. So once again, very similar situation as with the stock market. Not that concerned just yet, but obviously if the stock market or the traditional market drops lower, then we have a problem, of course. But for now, I think we are holding very, very nicely this trend line, as long as we keep closing 4-hour candles above the EMA 21 or the yellow line. I'm not that concerned just yet. Once we start closing, like I said, closing candles below the EMA 55, then I'll change my tune. So I have this exactly the same stop loss or the same movement as yesterday. If we start closing below the EMA 55, which is currently at 9,691, basically where my entry was, of course. If we start closing candles below that price, I gotta let go of my position and just take it like a man, right? But for now, like I said, I'm still bullish because everything is still showing that we are above all moving averages. But very similar to like yesterday, the bulls have to kind of do something pretty soon, but I think they're waiting for the stock market to show, like, you know, what the direction is going to be happening, right? So what I wanted to show you guys was the following. 1 second. Okay, so the 4-hour HVP, we did get that substantial move, and as you can see, but it's still very low right now. Still very low, around the 8. So it's still very low. 4-hour Stokes are currently curling down, so obviously that is not a good. That's not a good thing. But the 12 hours are still curling up. But before we go to those charts, let's go to our weekly chart, because I wanted to show you guys the importance of what happened this morning, right? And the reason why I am bullish on a more midterm perspective. So I've told you guys yesterday that the 3-day, the 2-day, and the daily candle would be closing. So let's take a look on what happened this morning. So if we're looking at the weekly, as you can see, still curling up. The Stokes are still up. The RSI is still up above the EMA 21, above the EMA. So RSI, everything is still looking pretty good. The 3-day. So this is what the 3-day closed at. As we can see, the candle closed very nicely green above the simple 10 moving average, and that obviously created that this Stokes are now curling towards the upside and not the downside. So that's the reason why it was very important that the bulls did something. If this would have curled to the downside, then obviously that would have made an impact. But this looks very nice structure, and although we are now heading towards below the EMA on the 3-day, I mean, obviously after there's still 3 days to go, right? So things can happen. But if we close the next 3-day candle below 9,778, obviously that would be a bad thing. But yeah, and the 2-day, let's take a look here. And here the 2-day closed also very nicely. Like I said, bounced off this the simple 10 moving average. Everything looks really good as well. And here we have a little push towards the downside. So once again, kind of critical for the bulls to be doing something very soon, very early in the next couple of days, or else the momentum will be gone once again and get rejected to the downside. But once again, we have more than a day and a half before that happens, right? So overall, that's the reason basically why I was in the midterm still bullish, and I still think that we will be swiping up towards the upside. And this time I do think that we'll most likely be swiping up higher, most likely towards the this area, towards the 10.4k area, because we basically touched the first resistance line, made a little hole, let's put it like that, made a little hole, and then hopefully the next push will be going towards the top side. But obviously if the stock markets the stock market and Nasdaq and this and that, if that would break the EMA 21, then of course Bitcoin is going to be doing the same thing and going down as well. So for people who say that there's no correlation between the stock market, as you can see here, beautiful red candle to the downside, and of course if we're looking at the S&P, beautiful candles to the downside, as we can see as well, right? So things are not looking that great right now for the S&P, but like I said, I'm still not convinced that this is going to be our big dump or anything like that. I I believe that this is really purely just people that are going to that are taking profits. And like I said, if we are going to make lower lows, going lower with our RSI, we'll be creating some bullish divergence. So I do think that some pushback upwards is quite imminent. So that's the reason why I'm still not 100% bearish. But of course, if this price where we're at right now is starting to be closing below the EMA 55, have to get out of my position and have to think otherwise, right? Have to be considering the bearish scenario or the pullback towards, well, this time the pullback towards the 8.9k or something like that, what we have been thinking about, is not going to be valid anymore, because during this time the EMA and all the moving averages has been going up. So if we do bounce down, I do believe that we'll be bouncing down a little bit higher, right? So if we would, I would say like maybe yeah, more near the 9k area, to be honest, more near the 9k area for a little bounce from there. But I would still, like I said, I would still think that we will have a small bounce at least around the 9k area before we break back down from there as well. So but like I said, I still want to see it happen. I still want to see the price actually close some candles below there before we talk about those kind of scenarios. So what am I looking at in terms of ranges? Well, since that we are back here at the same price as pretty much yesterday, still the same ranges, right? So around 10k on the top side and around 9.5k on the downside. So let's take a look on what the expected moves charts is saying. So first standard deviation to the top side is 9,985. First standard deviation to the bottom side is 9,534. As you can see, the angle is towards the downside, so the probabilities that we are going towards the downside is higher than to the top side, which is kind of normal as well, which is because the stock market is pulling us down. Now, this is the most concerning thing for me, right? When we were looking at the Stokes from yesterday, we could see that it was trying to break up here and out of this resistance trend line that I've drawn here, that has the tops a couple times already, and now it's curling to the downside. So what we want to see is of immediate reaction, right? We want to see in the next 12 candle close that we can push it back up once again. Hi, Michael. Welcome. But as we can see right here, HVP is still super low. We are at 5, so highly volatile situation, and it's going to be very volatile later tonight for sure as well. This is not going to be suddenly stopping or anything like that. And as we can see right now, 9.8k is the area that we have to be looking at for the RSI to be crossing back up. So on the short term, definitely looks more bearish on the very short term, I mean, than bullish. But like I said, as long as no major structures have been broken, I'm still not bearish. On the daily, we can see that Stokes are still curling towards the upside, so no issues there. And on the RSI, it's below, but once again, that target area of 9.8k or something like that, it's very nearby, so not really to be nothing to be really concerned about as well. Let's take a look. 1 second here on the 4 hour. 4 hour is curling down, but like I said, this looks like we are going to be forming some sort of like support, something like this maybe. So yeah, as long as this holds, I'm okay. I think we'll be fine. Let's take a look on the RSI. RSI is definitely below now, and as you can see, 9,800 is like the key area once again. I've put the input price for 10,000 because I think that's the most important area to be looking at. So RSI needs to be 65, as you can see, or entering the bullish zone before we can break $10,000. So still a while to go in terms of like on the RSI chart, but I still think that it's very possible. Definitely with Bitcoin, a few $100 moves is like, it's like nothing. Bitcoin can move in a super high pace. But yeah, right now, as we can see, it's still above EMA 21 on the 4-hour even. Yes, we are having a pullback, but it looks like we are building very strong support right now here on this area at like 9,750 ish or something like that. So I'm still not concerned. 3-day and 2-day close was pretty good for me. We had that first warning signal from the bulls that I kind of expected towards the 10.2k area. Kind of was expecting already that we would be getting rejected. Was hoping we would go all the way towards 10.4, 10.5, but didn't happen. But does that mean that it makes me bearish right now? No, it doesn't make me bearish at all. I'm quite confident that we'll be swiping up to the 10.4, 10.5k most likely later tonight. That's what I'm expecting, because if the 2-day chart, we don't want the 2-day chart to be looking very bad. So it kind of, once again, the bulls are on on the clock right now. Once again, the bulls are on the clock on the 2-day. We don't want this Stokes to be curling to the downside. So they have 1 day and a half to be 48 hours basically, right? 48 hours to be once again pushing it up towards the 10k line or above 9.8k. Let's put it like that, right? So yeah, I guess that's it for today. That's what I wanted to say. This is still valid. We still have to wait for that to happen. Maybe let's take a look on the CME chart if something shows up there. Well, CME chart, as you can see here, HVP is flashing red once again. So yeah, there's going to be action. Most bullish thing that I can see on the CME chart right now is, of course, the Stokes is fully fresh and fully going towards the upside, and RSI is still below the EMA, but like I said, very nearby or for something to happen. So CME is quite bullish for me as well. What else can we check? Let's take a look here on the daily. If it's curling down, but as you can see, it hasn't crossed down yet on our Hurst oscillator. So as long as that doesn't happen, fully cross down, then I'm not bearish at all. Let's take a look on the Hurst channel. Top side. As you can see here, the top side actually went up a little bit. As you can see, the slope is going curling up to the upside. So yeah, curling to the upside. Do I see a correction of BTC to 3,500? Yes, of course it's possible, Tina, but it seems like you are so concerned about like what could happen in like maybe a year or something like that. I'm a day trader, so yeah, it could happen to 3.5k, but why not take the possibilities first as they come on a daily basis? Like right now we are thinking about either like 11.5k or 7.5k. That's basically the range that I'm expecting for this month. So I'm just thinking about those two numbers right now. I don't care about anything else, to be honest. And that would be a huge and gigantic move already. So yeah, it could happen, Tina. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. But for now, things are looking really good. So the longer that we are above these major levels, the less chance that 3.5k is possible, right? So the longer that we spend time here at like near 10k, I don't know why you would be thinking about 3.5k. That's basically it. We just have to be thinking about now, like, yeah. Why would you be, I mean, if you're thinking about investing for a long term, why would you be selling this month? What if Bitcoin never goes back to 3.5k? Then you're never going to re-enter. You're never going to buy again. Makes no sense, right? Makes no sense. Besides, you can't be, like I said, you can't be bearish until there are bearish signals, right? Until, okay, if Bitcoin would break the 7.5k, then of course, then I would be like, there's a chance that that we can go back to 3.5k. But until then, I'm like, I mean, why am I even thinking about 3.5k when we are closer towards the top than the bottom? So there's more probability still right now that we are going to be going up. Doesn't mean that it will go up, but there's just more probability that that we are going up more than down. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. What can I say? Medium term still bullish. Nothing has changed for me. I'm expecting the next swipe up. Next time we break upwards, if the bulls are going to make their move, I expect us to be going towards our green box here. So next time that we are pushing up, I think we will be pushing up towards this 10.4k. Do we break it? Maybe, but it's not, once again, not 100% convinced that we'll be breaking it. We'll just be taking my profits once again with my position I'm at, which is pretty much around the same position as yesterday, right? 9690 or something like that, that I'm longing in. Where am I going to be worried? Well, of course, once we start closing dailies below this yellow line, or the EMA 21, which is currently at 9,576. If we close a daily candle, start closing daily candle below that, definitely out, or definitely be thinking that most likely we'll be heading towards this this area here, where our EMA 55 is currently at 9,027. So those are the two possibilities that I'm looking at, basically, from this point here, right? So either we make a move, and it will most likely be happening this week. Like I said, the bulls and the bears. The bulls are on the time clock, and the bears are kind of like just waiting it out to see if the bulls are going to make their move, yes or no. But I think that within this next week, by next week, we'll be seeing this move. Either we will be going towards the 10.5k or towards the 9k level. That's basically what most likely will be happening, which HVP, which is a historical volatility percentile flashing, and the contractions that we're at right now. Kind of has to happen pretty soon. So where are the areas that I'm looking at? Obviously, that's what I'm looking at, and what is going to be happening on Nasdaq later tonight. Right now, it seems to be trying to hold this EMA 21 on the 4 hour, but more important will be the daily. If tomorrow the daily closes, let's say, below this simple 10 moving average, that would be already pretty bad. But like I said, I don't expect it to be happening, but crazier things have happened in this world. So but because the reason why, as I explained it before, if we do get that low, then our RSI is going to be that low, or oversold. Let's put it like that, oversold definitely on the 4 hour. Let's take a look once again. It will be so low on the 4 hour. We will be crushing down so low that we will be creating some bullish divergence. So we would have a spike up immediately, pretty much immediately, right? So I'm still not concerned about this. This is a small pullback. I still think we're gonna go for higher highs, and we're gonna keep rallying with this Nasdaq and keep with this stock market. It has been an amazing ride, to be honest, with stocks. Bitcoin a little bit less fun because it's been going sideways. People who have been trading altcoins have been having a good time, because like we've explained it before, when Bitcoin is going sideways, that's when altcoins are doing really, really well in terms of like BTC pairing. Of course, I'm not talking about USD pairing, but in BTC pairing, a lot of altcoins have done really good stuff. I'm not trading any altcoins, so I don't give a you know it already. I don't really care. But yeah, for people who are trading altcoins, they must have been enjoying this ride as well, because it has been going nicely. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Like I said, still bullish. I think we'll be swiping up the 10.5k by tomorrow or something like that, or maybe later tonight. Who knows? When the bulls make their move. I see the stock market or the Nasdaq and S&P closing below the EMA 21, and of course then Bitcoin is going to do the same thing. I'll be expecting as a pullback towards the 9k level. If not, like I said, 10.4, 10.5k. But overall, probabilities for me is still on the higher side rather than the bottom side. So nothing that much. Just making some little monies and making some little diapers. Once again, I just wanted to show you guys. So I made money here on the 1st of June. I made the money here on the 2nd of June. Didn't make any money at all for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Then made money yesterday, right? So as you can see, as a day trader, you know, you just have to be very, very patient and picking out your spots. And when it's really, really not a good time to be trading, you know, if you feel that, you know, if you feel that you don't have an edge, or you feel that the price is not, you know, it's like doing crazy stuff, all the indicators are giving mixed signals, it's just better to just, you know, sit out and not do anything at all. And yeah, but right now, like I said, it's pushing towards above this this green box, so I can't be bearish. The probabilities are just higher towards this upper green box rather than this lower green box. Well, there's no green box there. Lower green line. Let's put it like that. But anyways, I think that's it for today. I'm still bullish. For people who are thinking that I'm suddenly bearish after this pullback or this move to the downside from our stock market. Nope. I think this is just people who are just gonna take some profits, and then we keep on going up to the moon. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it once again for today. See you guys tomorrow, of course, same time, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. That's my time zone. Please like, comment, share, and whatever you want to do with this channel. And hope to see you again tomorrow. And until then, please stay home, stay safe.